and indicated in conversation, much to their bittersweet response, Keith has become the voice of real estate locally. It's a tough pill for them to initially swallow.
Oh, come on.
And exact words.
No.
And then they realize that the show really works and the chemistry is good with the two of us. Literally exact words. Exact words from the
Well, I take that as a huge compliment and a show of love.
Like and share the show. Like and share the show. Again, it is the water cooler of conversation with real estate. A lot of data on Keith's page this morning.
I went nuts.
I saw that. I saw that. Had a conversation with a different broker this week as well, who listens to the show and has indicated that clearly we are in a softening market. And this is a transitioning market. And if you're not pricing the homes exactly right out of the get-go, you risk your house sitting for an extended period of time, and ladies and gentlemen, not securing the price that you would get had you had priced it right from the beginning. We'll talk about that on today's show. Had a conversation with folks that are in the new construction.
I feel a little jealous.
And
I'm a little jealous here.
Business
jealous.
is humming at
jealous.
this firm. We are humming. And they've indicated that the new construction folks are in the conversation of price cuts.
You'll see some stabilization there for sure when we start talking about some numbers on that end of it. But yeah, we shall see. I think interest rates might impact that a little bit, but I think the softening on the new construction is more trying not to eat up too much inventory.
Yep. We'll talk about that on the program, similar to what they were saying. A lot to talk about on the show.
Which is hard for the buyer to understand.
Totally, 100%. That's a tough one to explain.
Very hard. We'll try, though.
Like and share the show. Yeah, we do a good job of keeping it simple. That's why a lot of folks like the program, because we use the KISS method. Because really, we're simple folks.
Talk about KISS, right? The guitarist passed away.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Was that this morning?
Yesterday, I think.
Oh, man. They say it comes in threes. Diane Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
Now the KISS guitarist.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Like and share the show. Judah Wick,
As long as I don't see my obituary in the newspaper, I think I'm good.
What's a newspaper?
Yeah, no kidding. That's right.
What is a newspaper?
When was the last time you held one? When we travel.
You know what? Judah holds newspapers every week.
Do you really?
Don't you not?
Is it a weekend thing?
Hold a newspaper every week with the crossword, don't you? Do you not do the crossword puzzle every week?
Sometimes.
I see you on smoking a cigarette doing the crossword.
Ooh,
do you?
Ooh, did you just? Ooh.
That's weird.
Yeah. What? Because I say smoke a cigarette?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that allowed? Can we even talk about that?
That's a tough one. All right, Judah, we can rock and roll when you're ready.
You're not a big smoker. How many cigarettes you smoke a week?
Pack a day.
No. You smoke a pack a day?
I'll let you guys talk about this.
He's very sensitive about this. It's very sensitive about this.
Well, you may not know
Jerry
this.
loves airing people's dirty laundry.
How is smoking cigarettes dirty laundry? It's not against the law.
I'll do it. Yona used to be a huge smoker.
No, I don't understand why you're sensitive about this. How is airing cigarettes dirty, smoking cigarettes, talking about you smoking cigarettes dirty laundry?
Who knows in today's world? Who knows?
It's literally legal. It's not against the. You can buy them anywhere. All right, we can rock and roll when you're ready.
Doing a 100-kilometer bike ride in Greene County.
Yeah, that's not dirty laundry either.
Country roads with folks driving pickup trucks, trying to drive you off the side of the road.
It's not like I'm saying you're chasing the dragon and pumping white china. I'm saying you're smoking tobacco.
How did we go down this rabbit hole?
I don't know. Real talk with Keith Smith. Keith said real. All right, let's rock and roll when you're ready.
I think maybe Smith might be responsible for that. Am I responsible for that?
No, you're not. Well, kind of.
I am
slightly kind of.
Quiet on the set.
Yeah, okay.
It's always my fault.
The director.
It's always my fault.
We love you, Judah.
I do. I really do. Good Friday morning, guys. My name is Jerry Miller. Thank you kindly for joining us on Real Talk with Keith Smith. A pleasure to connect with you guys through the I Love CVille network on a show presented by Yes Realty Partners. Find them online at yesrealtypartners.com. It's a name you can trust. Keith and Jonas Smith own the brokerage. How many folks on the team?
Oh, we're up to 12.
A dozen folks at Yes Realty Partners, ladies and gentlemen. Just a fantastic boutique brokerage that does business the right way, the honest way. Keith and business have been in this business we call real estate since 1987.
Not 1897.
1987.
1987.
That is quick math right there. 38 years in real estate for Keith and Jonas Smith.
Yeah,
Judah Wickower behind the camera. Fantastic guy. Great guy,
And
Judah
we
Wickower.
love Judah.
We love Judah
And he
Wickower.
always has these really cool sweaters on.
Who doesn't love Judah Wickower? I mean, I hope they hear me giving him props. We love Judah Wickower. Studio camera, two-shot start of the program. Keith Smith, a household name in Central Virginia.
Household name.
Yeah. Two separate conversations with two separate people in real estate on completely different days of the week. And this show came up.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the topic?
I was talking about real estate. They were talking about how they can, what's going on in the market.
Got it.
They were talking about how they realize that they need their respective brokerages to continue to innovate and improve and utilize, go from a legacy brokerage into a today's brokerage. And Real Talk with Keith Smith, literally they brought it up in conversation.
Good. Yeah. Maybe we should invite them to come on.
I'm happily will do that. I speak with, I'd say half a dozen to a dozen real estate professionals or folks in real estate every week.
So how's the therapy going?
Every week. I just listen.
There you go.
What I do is I just listen.
We're
the confession of business. My firm is the confessional of business in Central Virginia.
And
we hear the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, so that's something I'm trying to work on to get better, is my listening skills. And actually doing this show has really helped me do that. I was talking to Yona about that the other day, that my listening skills are getting better. And of course she said, yeah, but your retaining skills, not any better.
Your retaining skills are exceptional. You're a wizard. You may not have the accolades from academics, but your street smarts are at genius level. Your street smarts are at genius level.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's what she was talking about. I think she was talking about if I can remember what I did 10 minutes ago. That's what she was.
I don't know what I had for breakfast.
Yeah, you had breakfast.
I had breakfast.
There you go.
My wife does a really good job of making sure
you eat before you roll out.
I really do.
Good for you.
In fact,
man.
she made the best egg bites this morning.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we should have some.
I am lucky to have her.
Well,
I mean that.
I'm sure she reminds you of that regularly.
She does.
And I can tell you, as a dear friend, you're pretty damn lucky to have her. But we're both in the same boat. It's funny, back on the brokerage conversation and all that stuff and the legacy brokerages, watch out. A little prediction here.
Yeah.
You're starting to see it. You're going to see it go even more. M&As. Mergers and acquisitions. It's going to be bigger and bigger and bigger. And some of these, I just heard Howard Hanna bought out a huge
I heard that.
organization out of Charlottesville, out of New York, into the city area. So you're going to start seeing these huge mergers start coming together.
Jonas Smith leaving some comments on the
Is she really?
Where are you gentlemen going with the comments this morning?
Well, hold it.
We weren't giving you love. I think she's probably referencing
me.
Yeah, with yeah. But she's not smoking cigarettes anymore, and we're not throwing shade on Judah.
Oh God, you brought it up. I thought we were done with that.
That's what we were talking about.
No, well, as long as we've been married, she hasn't smoked in years, but she was one cigarette a day. That's what she did, and she loved it, and that was her thing. And at the end of the day, and she'll have one cigarette a day. But we love you, Judah.
I sincerely mean that. And you're seeing a lot of stuff happening in real estate. I won't name the brokerage here. We won't name the brokerage. But one just rolled out essentially a line of credit for its agents.
Yeah, sure.
I
didn't prepare.
I want to throw this to you. I see this as it can be spun any way, the line of credit offered to agents. This is something that's
Did you hear the sigh? Did you hear the sigh?
This is not something that's novel or new, offering agents a line of credit. This has happened in the past. The line of credit offered for agents can be spun anyway as a resource or a tool, but it also can be spun as, oh my goodness, there's some folks that are looking to bridge the gap in between commissions. That's how I took what I saw posted all over social media by an unnamed brokerage locally. How did you take it, by the way? Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I didn't take it as a positive. I didn't take it as a positive.
Well,
William McChesney, welcome to the broadcast. You got real estate firms all over the feed right now. Go ahead. Go
am
ahead.
I allowed?
Yeah, please go.
Hey, Judah, how you doing, man? You doing
Good,
Judah?
good, doing good.
I think he's avoiding the question.
Yeah. So those Mets did not do well this year. Did LA win yesterday? I think we're all tied up with
Let's see.
with that.
Yeah.
Look, you have to do what you have to do, right, to stay in the business. And I actually has been working on data, which I don't have with me today, about what it takes to be in the real estate space to make a six-figure GCI, gross commission income, and then how few agents actually hit that mark on it. My only downside to that is, it's a loan. At the end of the day, it's a loan. And that's a slippery slope going down and taking loans. They're not just giving free money. There has to be strings attached to it, and it's a loan. And I think if you're, we are, what Yon and I do, and why we're blessed to do what we do well, we work strictly off of referrals, and we've been doing that forever, right? And if you are working off of referrals and you've got a good referral base and you have a good database and your CRM and your contacts and I'm just a Buffini and Company, plug here. And, Michael Guthrie, God love him, he was the one that introduced us to us years and decades ago on that. If you do your calls, notes, and pop-bys and you stay connected with people, you will always do business. You always got to be working on your pipeline. And what scares me the most about that comment is if you pull an agent right off of the street and go, are you a business or are you a salesperson? And most likely they're going to say a salesperson.
You think that's the case?
I know that's the case. I know that if you take a look at the top 10 to 20% production agents, they run their business like a business. That's what they do. Some of them, I've met. We're going down a rabbit hole here, and not the data that I.
No, this is great. This is great. This is why people watch the show.
But I know some real estate agents that don't even know what a P&L is.
Well, I get that.
Well,
and I know some real estate agents that don't even are running their business as if it was a sole proprietorship and aren't even LLC'd. S corp is what I would suggest.
And not paying their taxes. So, they need to start thinking like a business, and you'll do well. But anyway, we're very blessed, thank God, and moving forward. But that's a slippery slope, because that's like using your credit card to pay your business bills, right? You need to reevaluate where you are. 2 years ago,
Well, there's nothing wrong with using your credit card to pay your business
If you pay it off,
expenses.
you
If
pay
you
it
pay
off.
it off and
Yeah.
you accrue
Yeah.
the 3% cash back.
well, let me rephrase it. It's not good to use your credit card to augment your income.
Okay. That's
Is that a better choice of words?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would suggest
You
getting a
use your-
business credit card with 3% cash back, paying the business expenses, getting the free money, and then paying off the card.
Well, also depending on the credit card. So if you're a single person real estate firm, right, business, right, one agent, using like a credit card to do that, like an American Express or whatever, it does all your accounting for you.
Right.
So,
right.
but you got to pay it off.
Yeah.
And if you're using that to augment your income to pay your rent or pay your mortgage, that's when you get yourself into a little bit of trouble. How did we go down this?
Oh, it's good. Comments are, you want to hear some of the comments?
Sure.
I mean, the
I'm pulling out the data from.
We should get to the data. You're seeing, I agree 100% with the mergers and acquisitions. I think you're going to see some legacy brands have to innovate and innovate quickly. I think there was, before COVID, some firms where it seemed like their MO with their firm was almost the collection of desk fees, if you may. I think the collection of desk fee firms, that's a tough model today. My 2 cents.
Well, they're all gonna.
My 2 cents. I'm curious. You don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
Well, they just won't call it desk fees. There's other fees too.
Yeah.
But when you have these super high splits and you have this 100% commission, well, the brokerage has got to make money somehow.
Yeah, the brokers is making its money with all the fees that are baked into closing and some capacity, or the fees that are baked into access of the library of content on the internet on the back end.
Sure.
Or I've even heard of one of them having like an office access.
I had
access fee.
I had a great conversation with a new agent that just came on, and they were interested in YRP, and I thanked them for the time and coached them up a little bit and suggested you needed to go to a different firm that kind of is more set up for incubator. And I won't leave names out of it, but obviously I recommended a couple of folks and on it because our firm, we focus on folks that are been in the business for a while, making a certain number of sales and stuff like that.
What are you seeing with the business, Keith? What are we seeing? We're halfway through October.
You're talking about YRP?
No, just in general. YRP's crushing it.
Yeah,
we know YRP is doing extremely well. Yes, Realty Partners.
We're doing, yeah.
Yeah.
We just looked at our numbers the other day. We're pleasantly surprised.
Very nice.
Pleasantly surprised, yeah. But we also did a lot of things 2 years ago, right? I cut all my expenses. We cut our expenses back. We saw this coming because we've been in it for 38 years. So, well, I think you were trying to throw me a softball to talk about micro markets matter.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Well, that's how you answer the question,
yeah.
Right? So if somebody asks me today, well, how's the market? My answer is going to be which one, right? We're beyond the time of where we used to be able to look, even just a car footprint, look at it as one monolithic market. It doesn't work that way, right? It's now back into these micro markets, and price points are performing very differently as far as volume of sales and so forth and so on. And we'll tear into that a little bit further out. But just an example, I did 2 same streets, different stories, right? Just let me talk about this for a second, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Tear into it. Crozet. On
Old Trail
on Claremont Lane, 215 Claremont Lane. So these are closed homes. Was $845. It's a 2023 build that had a primary and a main level, finished basement, and it got a lot of premium finishes in it. There was a house 2 doors down, literally, a 219 Claremont sold for $715. It was built in 2017, had a primary upstairs, partial finished basement, had standard features. So 2 houses, and roughly the same square footage, by the way. 2 houses, same street, sold for $130K difference.
These are different houses, though.
They're different houses, but they're not $130,000 difference.
Can I push back?
No, yes, but not at the moment.
Okay.
The reason they're different is
the primary on main versus the primary on upstairs is a huge difference.
So let me get this out.
Yeah.
So the reason what I'm trying to explain on this is back to my location, price, features, condition. So this was all about features and conditions. And a little bit later, we'll talk about why primaries are selling on the main level, selling faster. But the point is, when you talk to 219 Claremont, they're going to understand, well, how come you didn't get the 845 for the house? Well, you didn't get it because the primary wasn't the right feature.
You don't have a finished basement.
And you don't have a finished basement.
You have standard finishes.
Correct. So the purpose I did that was to put a bullseye on features and conditions matter. Same thing on Lake Monticello. A little bit different, but same concept. Primary on the upper level versus the lower level. On Jefferson Drive, there was a 25 Jefferson Drive sold for $452. Here's a big difference on that house. It was very close to the golf course. Therefore, it commands more money. So within one subdivision, location matters. Exact micro locations matter in that. It was built sooner to 2021. 31 Jefferson Drive was built in 98. Same, little bit less square footage, but we were 128K difference on it. So it varies literally from street to street. When we take a look at some of the other jurisdictions where you have something like Creekside, where the prices are uniform, because the houses are uniform, the new construction, so forth. But I'll let you push back.
I think your data is fantastic. I think how you characterize the micro markets and how much they matter is excellent.
Did you call me a character?
How you put in perspective and compare and contrast homes that are on the same street, and how there's 100,000 plus delta between the two is awesome.
Features and conditions.
Yeah, features. I think today's buyers and sellers are sophisticated enough to realize that.
It's interesting. I had a conversation with a buyer, a flipper, and I actually gave him advice that I think now's the time to buy one. Because the buyer, when we go through all of this, today's buyer that's not a flipper wants the right features, wants the right conditions. They're not going to go in because money's so expensive and the homes are so expensive. They don't want to do this. But right now, if there is something that is in desperate need, that it needs features update and it needs condition update, and is long on the tooth on the market, that's the opportunity, right, for this flipper buyer. And that's what we're trying to help them buy a couple of homes that, we can get at the right price, put a little bit of love into it, and increase it.
Viewers and listeners, let us know your thoughts. Daniel Kaufman, Bob Yarborough, Lloyd Snook, Kid
Primary on
Ashley,
the main
Tim
level.
Hess, welcome to the show.
Primary and main level, you are a minimum 5% higher than everybody else.
Yeah, primary and main level is a slam dunk. If you have an opportunity to buy a house with a primary and a main level, that is going to pay dividends down the road and then some. If you have an opportunity to have 2 bedrooms on the main level, that's going to pay dividends down the road and then some.
2 primaries.
Yeah, that's going to be challenging to find. I will throw this to you here. How much are buyers waiting on the sidelines
Oh, wow.
to jump in this game post-holiday, as affordability is still an issue, but affordability may be more possible with rates dropping. You and I are of the mindset that once rates do drop, there's going to be more competition, more bidding wars, more chaos. So maybe that is a myth that affordability will improve early of 2026?
Yeah, well, first of all, one needs to define affordability, right? That is a moving target. I
Call it 6.5% rates to 5.5% rate.
The closer you get to 6, the more everything is going to pick up, right?
We're getting there.
I had a conversation with 2 loan officers. When it got like below 6.3 and all that stuff.
6 and 1/8. I saw.
Yeah, but that's for like the
early last week.
Yeah, but that's for you walk on water credit score, right? And that's a bit of a misnomer. When you start throwing rates out like that, you got an 850 credit score, you got 20% down payment, yada yada.
You're seeing 6.3s for good credit scores.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So below 6.3, these 2 loan offers I was talking about, they just like was slamming with
refi business.
Both refi and sales, right? So yes, we've talked about this multiple times. The closer we get down to 6% of market, I don't think these 2 features and conditions we're talking about is going to change. So back in the unicorn years, it didn't matter, right? It literally didn't matter what the features were in the condition. People were just buying in a frenzy. Thank God that's gone, in my opinion. Thank God that's gone. You're going to see more buyers in the pool. You're also, sellers are going to have to come to the realization, and we started this conversation, you and I, my God, 6 to 12 months ago. This is not as much of a seller's market as everybody thinks it is, right? And micro markets will matter, right? If I've got
I don't think this is a seller's market at all.
Well, it's a specific.
I think in the best case scenario, you're looking at maybe a balanced market. I think.
Yeah.
I think folks looking to sell a house right now have tremendous headwinds. Tremendous headwinds.
I was asked the other day, how do I feel about the market? I said, man, this is great. This is a really good place to be. This is good for the market. This is a healthy, balanced market. What we had in the time of great unpleasantness wasn't healthy at all. What we had in the unicorn years wasn't healthy either, right? So we're getting back to a more balanced.
And goodness
healthy-
gracious, trying to sell a home now that needs work.
100%.
I mean, what are you seeing right now trying to sell a home that needs work?
Well, it has to be priced right, right?
Even
So the-
slight work versus considerable work characterize the two.
I'm going to say any work,
Yeah.
right?
No one wants to do work.
100%. It's multiple reasons, right? One is the expense.
Yeah.
The other thing, the pool of people to do it is non-existent.
And the time to execute the
And then
project.
100%. We just did the apartment for my parents downstairs, and I'm in the
You're in the
trade.
game.
I'm in the game, and that
He's
took
a
me-
general contractor.
That took me from the day that we said yes to the day I moved them in 1 year. From the day they said, we're going to do this, and started it and go through all the process and the pre-construction process, construction process. There was a bunch of site work that needed to get done, tons of linear feet of retaining walls, relocate utilities, all that kind of great stuff. And then build the apartment. Literally, we started in August, I moved them in August, 12 months. And I knew that going in, right? And still having trouble, guys, I'm coming back and do punch list items. So you got two things. One, it's hard to find somebody to do the work. The other thing is people want to roll in and they want to be ready. And that's when you want to bring your trusted advisor in and go, look, if you can look, there's certain features you can't fix, right? So if the house has too much square footage, you can't fix that. If the house is too little square footage, there's certain things you can't fix, right? But condition you can. And sometimes condition can win out over features, right? It needs a new roof. The kitchen is, 25, 30 years old, right? Well, update the kitchen. But you got to spend that money up front. And you're not going to get the ROIs you want to get, by the way, right?
Put that in perspective for the viewers and listeners.
Yeah, so, the number one...
Times have completely changed, folks. There was a time where you could put some lipstick on the pig.
No, you didn't even need lipstick. You
Yeah.
put chapstick on the pig.
And you put chapstick on the pig, and you
it
had
worked.
now even if you're doing the remodeling work, and I'll tell you what, fantastic.
Go ahead.
You want to highlight them? Go ahead.
No,
highlight
you
them.
go, you go.
Please go. Please.
Interstate Service Company.
There you go. That's one of Real Talk with Keith Smith's partners right here.
Couldn't do this without him.
Yeah.
Couldn't sit here and have fun with you without him. So thank you very
So
much.
highlight what you were going to say, even with the remodeling work done.
Well, first of all, you got to be smart. You got to do the right remodeling work, right? And back to the ROI returns. Yes, if you've got a kitchen that is outdated, the first step is simple countertops, swap out appliances, right? That kind of thing, right? That's assuming it functions. But you'll roll. I just toured a house the other day for a client that in the 80s and the 90s, when we were building houses, closer to the early 90s, in the kitchens, we used to put actual desk setup for a
Desk or out.
for like a CPU
Yeah.
monitor keyboard, because that's what you did. Well, now you roll into a house, and it was funny. It was a young couple walked them into it, and they go, "What am I supposed to do with that?"
My wife can't stand those.
Well, what do you use it for?
Yeah.
Because maybe you could throw a laptop on it.
Yeah.
So now you've got to look at that. Okay, what does today's buyer want? And oh, by the way, that's not just a millennial buyer or a younger buyer. It's me too. It's the boomer. I don't want that.
Who's sitting at desk?
100%.
I mean, the desk is what's in your hand.
97% of all real estate
Yeah.
starts on one of these.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's
We've been
100%.
saying that for seven years.
You're even seeing it with folks that are in the house flipping game, that are speculating, flipping homes.
Mm-hmm.
Even some of the house flippers that I follow, and this is our world too. This is your world. This is our world.
So if you're gonna
I have 24 doors. I have 24 rental property. Being straightforward here.
If you're going to update it, do it right.
I'm even seeing it with that.
Don't do it half-assed.
Where it's like the remodeling that's been done on some of these flipping isn't yielding sales.
It's because we've talked about this in previous shows. We're in a buyer's market that we've never seen before. Very specific, the things need to be spot on, right? You can charge a little extra money. People be willing to pay for that, right? As long as you're in the right location, right, and the rest of your features and so forth and so on work, people are willing to pay a little bit more for that, but it's got to be right. And don't over customize it. Keep it simple, keep it clean, keep it. I don't want to use the word plain.
I would say this is an interesting comment here. Today's buyer, and you may push back on this if you disagree. You may disagree.
Oh, really?
Today's buyer is as sophisticated as a buyer as we've ever had.
I would agree with that.
Because of the technology.
I would agree with that.
Today's buyer has more information at his or her disposal than ever before.
No pushback there.
Okay. Today's buyer is more choosy or selective than ever before.
Yes.
Today's buyer, while a balanced market or even shifting to a buyer's market, it's still as expensive as almost ever before. And when you add all these elements, you're having buyers that are just really picky. Really picky and waiting to jump in until almost the perfect situation.
So I'm push back on the picky part.
Okay.
The word I would use, they know what they want.
Okay.
Right?
Tomato, tomato.
Well, picky in my mind means unreasonable. They're
Okay.
not unreasonable.
Okay.
Look, let's face it. How we communicate and how we interact with people matters. Right? Just go back. I mean, it's how this damn lawsuit happened and how we got ourselves into trouble, right? Just go back to the unicorn years. Go back when, how buyers were treated so poorly, right? With all these multiple offers, sold in 13 seconds, if...
They got burned. They're bitter. They remember. The memory is fresh.
So that's very interesting. The sellers are remembering the wrong thing.
Yeah. The sellers remember when it was they were swimming in gold coins like Scrooge McDuck.
The sellers are remembering what happened 24 months ago. The buyers are remembering what happened at that point in time, but the approach is very different, right? And it's slowly changing. I can tell you on our end of it, the discussions that we're having with potential listers, because we've got quite a few of them coming out, and sellers, is we're having very honest, very transparent. This is where the market is now. 12 months ago is not today's market.
I would even say the first quarter and second quarter of this year is not today's market.
I get that. But when you're talking to a seller that do it, us geeks that geek out at the numbers almost on a monthly basis.
Okay, you go with a calendar year. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little easier for that to digest on what it looks like in a 12-month.
I'm seeing stuff that traded in Q2 of this year.
We went over the stuff. Prices aren't going down.
Yeah.
Except for the city of Charlottesville.
Q2 of this year, stuff was
which I
trading
can't wait to the end of the month to see how that's doing.
Now we're at the end of this quarter, at the beginning of Q2 of this year versus the start of the fourth quarter of this year. It's a completely different market.
Yeah.
It's bananas.
Well,
it happened like...
Well, welcome to real estate.
Well,
right?
I know. It's been a while since it's been
and that's
so quickly changing like this.
So then I'm gonna tie it back to your conversation we had about offering loans, because that's what it is.
Yeah, lines of credit. Essentially what it is.
Lines of credit.
We'll call it a loan. Yeah.
Well, a line of credit is a loan.
I mean, it's floating debt.
Is a bad business move to get into. Let me tell you a little bit of a story about that.
But it's being positioned by the brokerage as almost a like.
Well, I don't know because
No, it's being positioned by the brokerage as, and I won't name the broker, as a perk, as a benefit.
Well, it could be. We just don't know what the back end of it is, right? It could be. I mean,
I think you got an idea what the back end of it, Keith.
Well, I know this much. Brokerages, I can tell you, brokerages do not make the amount of money that they used to make.
100%. And a brokerage is starving for profit centers.
100%.
They're
that's why
begging and starving for profit centers.
That's why there's all these diversifications.
Yeah.
So I would think, I don't know who the brokerage is.
The brokerage of tomorrow is going to be a tech play.
It's going to be two basic setups. And we've had this discussion before. Two basic setups. What we do, which is boutique.
Yep.
It's all about servicing the client, servicing the agent, offering them, I got a problem, you call, we help you out.
Or the fantastic splits for the agent tech play brokerage.
which is a volume
Yeah,
structure.
right.
There's no middle anymore.
Where you'll start seeing some, 85, 15, 90, 10s with some fantastic tech on the back end.
Well, you're seeing
and some cap out once you hit certain thresholds.
Yeah. And that's great, but try to get a hold of a broker to help you, right? And that's our model's very different, and we're very happy with our model, and for us it works well. But it's two different breakdowns. But back to the conversation we're having about buyers, right? Buyers will
Do you
use
hear
your.
that noise? Is that your leg?
I'm sorry.
Are you rustling your leg? Is anyone? Am I hearing that?
Hear that.
Okay, go ahead. I don't know what that is. I think I'm like losing my mind here. Do you hear that, Judah?
Is it my hearing aids?
No, I don't think it's your hearing aid. Sorry.
Sometimes my hearing aids start buzzing, and I don't
No,
hear
it's
it.
not. No, it's like a shuffling.
Yeah, I don't hear it right now.
Okay. Go ahead, Keith. I distracted you. I apologize. It's two guys with ADD here. Squirrel? Was that a Tesla that drove by?
So
Was that a Ferrari that drove by?
Hey, Judah, how you doing?
Finish your thought.
Oh, you think I have it
You
still.
have your thoughts still. Yes, you do.
Yeah, so as far as buyers are concerned, when you're in a seller position, you've got to hire a trusted advisor. We've started the show 7 years ago using that term, right? Trusted advisor. Yes, just like our sponsors are trusted advisors. You have to get a trusted advisor who's willing to tell the truth. The slippery slope, I'm going a little bit of pivot from my original thought. The slippery slope of offering loans and stuff like that, what happens is when you start getting a little fiscally desperate, you make bad decisions.
100%.
Right? And I know this because I'm actually speaking from personal experience. When you develop and you have to borrow $17 million, $10 million, and you have trouble paying that off.
He built 600 homes
Roughly a little short of that, but
in Lake Monticello.
in that area. Right?
Yeah.
Did a bunch of development
Got
stuff.
caught up at the time of great unpleasantness.
Lost $17 million, lost everything we had except for what was important, was each of us. And oh, by the way, it was the best thing that ever happened. Because I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I wouldn't have been on all the boards I was on. So it was a horrible experience. But it is really hard when you owe somebody money, regardless if it's $17 million or a $10,000 commission check, not to make some bad decisions because you start getting desperate. I was very fortunate. I made some smart decisions and it worked out well. I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
Lucky than good, 100%.
Yeah. So anyway, today's buyers, and even if we get down to sub 6%, the selling homes have to be spot on. We're not going back. And the buyers remember that. They are not vindictive, but they are very clear on how they remember how the sellers made them feel, and the pendulum just swang. So the sellers are going to have to be a little bit more patient and understanding. And oh, by the way, what is it? I have to look at it. The median days on market are nowhere where they used to be, right? It depends on the location. I don't have the data in front of me at the moment. But we're not in days on markets where things were 100 days, 150 days. We're still well within the 60 to 90 day average and median across the board. So, it may feel like a lot, but it's not historically compared to it.
Here's a tough question for you.
What, are we doing an easy one?
No, I know. This has been good. You've adapted well. The show's been great.
I wanted to talk about this.
How deep, how far back can you go with comps when considering selling your house?
Whoa, my hearing aids. You said cops or
With
comps?
comps.
Oh, wow. Great question. That's more of an art than a science, right? And it's to what we're talking about in the micro markets matter, right? So you have to start taking a look at what sells in that particular area. If you don't have a lot of transactions in that particular area or product type, it becomes a little challenging. By the way, this is when you hire our dear friend Woody Fincham to come in, because that's what we're doing right now. When we're having a hard time getting comps, because you really don't want to go further than 6 months back.
Fincham and Associates, Woody Fincham,
Yeah, you don't want to go 6 months back.
fantastic appraiser. Real estate agents or folks that are not in the real estate game, if you need an appraisal done on your house, commercial property, Woody Fincham and Associates is who you call, period, slam dunk, end of story.
We've just done 3 of them.
I mean, I've seen it firsthand with what I've done. Keith does it all the time. He's the guy.
And the reason why is I was having trouble getting the comps to work because if you go back 1 or 2 years, the numbers just isn't real. And if you don't have a certain type of property that is transaction or a section or a street, and you can't really start comping it out, you can't go back in the unicorn years. You could just look at the whole market and go, okay, we're going up 10%. Here you go, right? You've got to narrow this down, and we'll talk about each county how it makes a difference here in a little bit. But I had to, we pay Woody directly. I said, look, Woody, I need some help. I need you to, this is the number I came up with. I need you to go do and we communicate this with the client. We said, look, we're going to pay for an appraiser to come in. And we're going to find out, because guess what? Unless it's a cash transaction, it's going to have an appraisal anyway. And we've been very fortunate. We're usually $5,000 to $10,000 apart every time we're doing it. So that means we're really hitting our numbers well. Because it's being supported by the appraisal. Then I feel comfortable going, okay, Jerry, the number is this. So there you go. Did I not answer the question?
You answered it well. I'll ask you this question, very straightforward. Neil Williamson watching the program.
Hey,
here.
Neil.
Counselors and supervisors watching the program. We should get Fitz Barnes on the program again.
Yeah, sure.
Friend of the program, Fitzgerald Barnes. Love the guy.
Fellow jarhead. He's contested this year, right?
He's contested.
Yeah, so I thought.
Yeah, and he is having a fish fry.
Yeah, I saw that.
You want to enjoy a fish fry? Coming out, eat some fish.
I would love to. When is he doing it? I can't remember.
Election day.
Oh, he's doing it on election day.
It's
Good
genius.
for him, man.
I know. It's so smart.
That is so much him.
That is so him. I'll throw this to you.
I didn't know it was election day. I thought it was like beforehand.
Is a 6-month comp even applicable anymore? It's a home that traded 6 months ago that meets the specs of your current house, even applicable.
This is where the skill,
the nuance,
and the nuance comes out. You can't just do a blanketed number. You can't just say it's 3 months, it's 2 months, it's 1 month. You just can't do that. And sometimes you got to look at the back end. If I don't have any comps, what does replacement costs look like? And that's where you bring in a guy like Woody. I say, okay, what does replacement costs look like?
Put in replacement costs in perspective for the viewers and listeners.
Yeah, so what they do is you kind of back end it and look like, okay, if we were going to reproduce this house, what was that cost going to be? And then you have to deduct. It's a little bit difficult to explain here, but you figure out what the costs are, then you got to deduct the time out of that number, right? And then kind of figure it out that way. Though we look at a lot of data and we crunch numbers and all that stuff, this is more of an art than a science. So there you go. Did I do an okay job?
You did a great job. We got to get to that data.
Album, any feedback?
Oh, yeah, but go ahead. Get your point.
I just wanted to talk a
Multiple
little bit.
people are putting the squirrel emojis in the comment section, including Yona, Neil, and Bill. Yona actually used the squirrel emoji.
Let's talk about...
That made me laugh, Yona. I appreciate it.
I want to talk about squirrels. Yeah. No, I do. I want to talk about squirrels in Greene County.
What? They're suicidal.
They are.
Yeah, they have a death wish.
Well, try being on a bicycle doing 25 to 30 miles an hour downhill, and you got a cycle sorrel going out where you know what could seriously hurt somebody on a bike? It's a squirrel.
What happens if you run over a squirrel on a bike?
I'm going to go head over heels.
Is that what you would go over the handlebars?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you just would turn over and that was it.
On a squirrel?
100%.
Would it kill the squirrel?
Well, I am a little overweight. I'm trying to lose it, Jerry. I would appreciate it if you wouldn't call me out in front of the whole effing world. You're making in front of me.
Would it really kill the squirrel?
I don't know. Never hit one.
Paralyze the squirrel?
I don't know. I never hit one.
It would obviously hurt the
squirrel.
And
I do not want to.
Yeah.
I don't. I would be more concerned about me getting hurt than the squirrel, I have to be honest. But they do. If you're on a bike, you're going downhill 25, 30, sometimes 35 miles an hour, and you got a squirrel in front of you going like this, you got to pick a side to go. And then you got the nut in the pickup truck trying to run you over.
Oh, man.
Squirrels.
He just did a 100-kilometer bike ride this past weekend with his
did.
son-in-law in Greene County. That's
And
why
we
he's
raised money for the Greene County Food Bank.
and how'd it go? Was it good?
I don't know how much money they made. I haven't had a chance to talk to them yet, but I think we had 150 people. It was a lot of fun.
That's legit.
It's a good. If you're in the cycling world, it's probably my favorite race. The downside to it, or event, the downside to it, there's no flat. You're either climbing up at 6 or 8 miles an hour, or we're going to go even more squirrel. So I have a little computer on my bike, right? And when you do a climb, there's green, yellow, and red. So these are percentage grades. Red is anything over 8%, 8 to 15%. When you look down at that computer and all you see is F and red, and you go, oh, shucks. And it's like you're doing, and then you're riding with your superhuman son-in-law who's 30 plus years younger than you, going, hurry up, old man.
Houston.
Yeah.
Radiologist?
No, anesthesiologist.
Anesthesiologist.
But here I got him beat on the downhill
Okay.
because a little extra weight in the belly kind
Houston's not a small guy.
He's not a small guy, but for some reason I pass him going downhill.
You pass him on the downhill. Is
then-
that him giving you a little love?
He gives me love, or my IQ, either one of the two.
Albemarle County data.
Okay, non-subdivision. So I want to quantify this.
This is good stuff here.
I'm reliant on the listing agent putting the subdivision in the listing data. So some of these actually might be in subdivisions, but just didn't show up in the data. So non-subdivision, this is year to date, up until today. There was Albemarle County, there was 167 sales. What I wanted to look at was the top 3 subdivisions in each jurisdiction. And some of them only had 2. So non-subdivision, so these are homes that were not listed as subdivision in the MLS, 167 sales. Average sales price was $962,000. Median was $575,000. And then one would ask, why is there almost a 70% gap? You would ask that question.
Why is there almost a 70% gap, Keith?
I have no freaking clue. No, look, it's because the average, and we've talked about this before, it's the reason I like using median. There's just a couple of large deals that get done and some lower deals that get done, and it just screws up the average number. When you start looking at this, like Old Trail only has like a 1% gap difference, that means the product are very similar, the price points are very similar, it's a stable market. Glenmore had an 11% gap. There's some more higher end homes selling that's kind of skewing the numbers a little bit. But when you start looking at averages and medians getting a little bit closer, and that's part of this nuance thing, right? When I start looking at that means, okay, great, then my pricing structure is getting there. So anyway, that's how that works. Charlottesville.
Something's going on in Charlottesville.
Dude.
You need to just cut to the chase with what's going on in Charlottesville.
It's the only jurisdiction that we're losing value year over year.
If you live in Charlottesville, Virginia, ladies and gentlemen, and that you own a house in city limits, you have a situation on your hands.
Yeah. I don't have the data with me, and we'll do it. I think maybe Batman and Robin and the superheroes might do that.
Captain America?
Captain America will be here. We've got one other special.
Captain America's buddy's watching the program now.
We've got one other special superhero coming, which we're interviewing a couple, right?
Do we know who the other
I know who the alter ego is of that other superhero. I just don't know who the superhero is.
Who's the other one? We got a couple of counselors watching the program right now. Can we let the city councilors that are watching the program know that they have a problem on their hands?
Well,
I've been emphasizing it nonstop on our show.
Yeah.
And I know they've been hearing it.
Yeah. So
they should hear it from a man who's been in the game since 1987, Keith Smith.
I'm not going to use the word problem.
Okay, well, you're a nicer person than me.
Yeah.
When the neighboring jurisdictions are up nearly double digits.
Well, not all, but some.
What's Albemarle County up? Year to
You're
date.
going back to a previous show, which I don't have my data in front of me.
Year to date.
I think it was in low, like 10, 11, 12, something like that.
Right,
year over year.
right. And Charlottesville's in the red.
Charlottesville was down
Like
the last
5 and
time
change.
when I looked at it at the end of September.
I think it was 5.7.
Roughly 6%.
Yeah. So if Albemarle,
But that got better though, right? So
yeah, but then it slipped again.
No, I don't know that yet because we haven't
I
done
looked
it yet.
at it.
Oh, you looked at it? Okay. Well,
Albemarle County.
Well, good for you.
Well, I mean, we're both data geeks.
Yeah.
Albemarle County values, end of September, call it 8, somewhere between 8 and 10%, depending on where your house is. Uptick in value, median value, year to date, end of September versus 2024. Charlottesville, the neighboring jurisdiction.
And I'm just using detached.
Yeah,
Okay.
you've taught me well.
Got it.
7 years sitting across from you. You taught me well.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, 7 years. I've learned a lot.
Cannot tell you how I'm sorry to hear that.
Charlottesville, 6% end of September year to date. That's like a 14 to 16 point delta.
Yeah,
And they're neighboring jurisdictions.
while you are talking.
I'm going to straight up go Apollo 13.
Apollo 13.
Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Councilor Snook, we have a problem.
All right, well, hang on a second.
Mayor Way, we got a problem here. I'm curious if they know.
Well, I know a couple of them, though. I'll leave names out because I've actually spoken to them about it. So
And did they know? Without highlighting, and I know who you're talking about, without highlighting, did they know? Be honest.
Well, no, because this is not their world, right?
Exactly.
You know, this is
But they should be getting that counsel from staff.
this is yeah, but I hear you. I understand what you're saying. Look at me. Look how good I am. I understand what you're saying, but they don't know. Staff doesn't know. They don't do this for a living, right? They're not in real estate like we are for a living. It's the reason why X years ago for the Regional Housing Partnership, I created these 4 pillars because I realized, you know, the private sector and the nonprofit sector and the government, local government, and the people who we serve, which is the 4 pillars, all speak very different languages, and they don't quite understand how everything. The problem is you need all 4 of those for housing to work. So I'm going to work on numbers for you here. If you can just chat for a second, 'cause I want to see what it is as of today.
I'll highlight some comments. Neil Williamson has this. Squirrel and Smith spandex is not a good combination.
Well, that's why the squirrel's going, no, I didn't realize it. You know, Neil, that you may be right. The squirrel might be so confused with my
You got to
spandex.
finish your numbers. Batman and Robin will be hosting Real Talk with Keith Smith on Halloween. Alfred will be directing the show. Interestingly, Halloween is on a Friday.
I know that. That's the reason I'm excited about it.
Real Talk with Keith Smith.
We have not had a Halloween on a Friday.
I'll tell a story to viewers and listeners while you crunch the numbers. Robin was in attendance. Batman, I think you can figure out Batman. Robin and Alfred behind the camera. Captain America will be in the house as well. A fantastic appraiser may be in the house, but he is, I think, was he going as John Cena? Is he going as The Rock? Is he going as...
That is his story to tell, brother. I am not.
Is he going as Batwoman?
I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up as Hellboy or something like that.
I know.
I actually think he's going to show up as
so true.
as the villain. That would be
that would
right
be
up his alley.
apropos,
That'd be
whatever
right
the
up
word
his
is
alley.
for him.
Yeah.
But-
I think Hellboy.
Hellboy would be
If I
perfect.
was going
You
to
should-
bet, I think he's going to
You
show up
should
as
suggest
Hellboy.
that. I'll tell a story. I was on Halloween Day.
I got to pay attention. Go through
Robin
it.
walked out of the studio. The affable and likable UPS driver was turning the corner.
Fellow Marine.
Turning the corner, and I went up to the UPS driver as he turning the corner, and he was setting his eyes on Robin, and I gave him one of these. Hi-ya! And he literally jumped out of his skin and was absolutely
No,
terrified.
it had nothing to do with.
Screeched like
it had
a girl.
nothing to do with the karate move. It had everything to do with holy shit.
I ran into our CPA office, our accounting office, and literally terrified all the ladies in the front of the CPA office, and then gave them a little booty shake, and then ran out the door. They
Well,
loved
that's
it.
what terrified him.
They loved it. Viewers and listeners, comments, put them in the feed. They're continuing to come in. William McChesney shares a link to a house on Grove Road where he highlights that price cuts are happening left and right. They are. We highlighted 2 of them yesterday that were done by flippers. That I said that these were well-done houses. It's just a challenging time to bring them on market, was my commentary on yesterday's show. This comment comes in from Eastern Tennessee and Jeremy Wilson.
Oh, wow. Eastern Tennessee.
Yep, watches
How awesome
all
is
our
that,
content often. My grandfather was a general contractor in Natural Bridge, and my great-uncle was James Mays of Mays Real Estate in Lexington. Very, very nice hearing that, Jeremy Wilson. I love that you watched the show in
That is
Eastern
flattering.
Tennessee. Yeah. Absolutely flattering that he watches the program. Keith Smith is providing data for us now, year-to-date numbers. Is it Albemarle and Charlottesville that you're putting together?
No, I'm focusing on Charlottesville. Charlottesville's the only one that's going backwards.
Charlottesville-
I want to see January 1 to 10/17, single-family detached, what the percentage went down.
Do you have that number?
I'm doing the math.
He's going to give us 2024 versus 2025. City of Charlottesville, year-to-date, single-family detached homes and median values. I'm going to write that down. People are going to be astonished with what they hear in the city of Charlottesville with what their homes are doing value-wise. And I do not think that city council, and we have two of them watching the program right now, are aware of what is going on.
Yeah, we're holding just shy of 6%. So
2024, what's the number?
So 2024 was 601.
Okay.
2025, 567. Number of units sold in 2025 was 248. The number of units sold in 2024 was 238. So I just want to double check my math to make sure that I think we're roughly around 5.6, 5.7% difference. So we're holding close to that 6%. I think if we take a look at the exact number at the end of the year, I think we were closer to 6%. We're somewhere around 5.5% difference. So the numbers,
You're like 5.7%.
yeah. So 5.66 is
Yeah.
what I got. So we were in what month? So we were, when we did this at the end of August, over 7. When we did it at the end of September, we were around 6. So we're currently around 5.6. So I think when we settle out the year,
Right around here.
I think you're going to be around 5%.
Yeah. And it's startling because Albemarle County is the opposite.
Yeah, Albemarle County. It'll take me too long to do this,
Yeah.
but at the end of September, we were roughly 12% up, and places like Fluvanna and Nelson, they were all up. I think Nelson and Louisa were flat at the end of September. We'll see how it goes, but at the moment, Charlottesville single-family detached homes are losing value year over year.
While Albemarle County, the neighboring jurisdictions, are increasing back of the napkin 10%.
Yeah, I would say at the end, no, I think at the end of the year, when we do the end of the year, it'll be north of somewhere between 10 and 15. I think you're going to see 10 to 15.
That should concern the bejeebus out of anybody living in Charlottesville.
Well, you and I have had this conversation. We know between 2019 and now, it's roughly 40% increase in the city of Charlottesville. If this holds somewhere around 5%, and it continues, you'd say next year is another 5%. Well, you just ate 10% out of your 40, right? So we'll see. I think we'll have to see how this tracks out. But that was shocking to me. When we started looking at this a couple of months ago, that's the only jurisdiction that's going backwards.
You want to offer a reason why this is happening?
I don't think there is a reason. There's multiple reasons.
You want to go down that? I think we both know the reason why. The reasons why.
Yeah.
Do you want to touch it, or do you rather not touch it?
You're trying to get me down a political.
You don't have to. You don't have to. I can talk about it. You don't have to.
Yeah. There's a ton of uncertainty. It's price point, and I got to tell you,
I don't think it's price point because Albemarle County's price point is higher.
Albemarle
County's price point is higher.
I can just tell you the conversations that I'm having with buyers at that price point. They just don't want to be in the city of Charlottesville. For whatever their individual reasons are, they just don't want to be there, right? Don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent. That's just a small sampling of the people that we're having conversations with, but they're looking for a little bit more land, right? I think the dynamic of the buyer is changing a little bit. And, I think this uncertainty with budget, uncertainty with zoning, uncertainty with a bunch of things could impact it a little bit, because I know that's where you want to go.
Politics, houseless, activism.
But I honestly believe majority of it is based on my sampling, which is tiny. People just want a little bit more land. People just want something a little bit different. But these things do pendulums, right? It used to be the opposite, right? It used to be Charlottesville was increasing and some of the other ones weren't. So we'll see. All I can do is track the numbers. And right now, year over year, you're losing somewhere between 5 to 6% in value.
What's your prediction for how the year's going to close? Because I'm telling you, if
Well, what'll happen is it'll be like 12, 31,
We're
and
now
then
looking-
it'll go into next year.
we're now looking
It's
at
amazing. It happens every year.
we're getting to that point of the year where closings are now going to start showing up in 2026.
You're going to
numbers.
see a big surge between now and Thanksgiving in closings. And generally, things.
hiatus.
I got to tell you, though, historically, we do a lot of business between November and Christmas because it's a great time to.
Did you go on vacation? Leave it to go on vacation when you start seeing business
so,
pick up.
so, first of all, we have to redefine this.
Yeah, you guys always do working vacations.
We do
Yeah.
remote work.
Yeah,
Just
you do
happen not to be here.
Yeah, you do a good job.
Well, no, I don't want folks to think we're just going on vacation.
I know that.
We're
I know
working.
that.
I know that.
They know
I know
that.
that.
They know
and
that.
You know that, and Yona knows that. But I'm not so sure about Judah. But anyway,
It was a joke, Jude.
it was a very bad joke. That was definitively a dad joke. Look, if you're looking to buy and you're looking like me and you don't need a place for the kids for Christmas, right? One of the best times to buy is now, right? Because sellers are a little bit more motivated, right? Sellers are motivated to do that. You know, you could, if not get a better deal on price, you might get a better deal on terms. So if you're looking to buy, this window we're in between now and the end of the year is actually a great time of the year to buy. We see an uptick in buyers. To your comment, if you want business, this is an actual.
And this is for any line of work.
I'll speak to it specifically to the real estate business, and it's a bit of a joke, right? Write into your business plan for 2025 some vacation time, because you will do business if you go on vacation. The moment the door closes and the captain says, turn your phone on to airplane mode, guess what happens? Your phone blows up. You land and you go, oh my God. So the way to solve that problem is you work with some great partners to go ahead and take care of it.
And you guys have the best.
Well, I don't know. You know, and some of them question I'm only kidding.
Yes, Really Partners. Online at yesreallypartners.com. What's the weekend plan? Today's show was great.
Thank you. I love it. You know, I know I'm doing well when I can get you to laugh and
It's
smile.
great. You and I have such we've been doing this for so long that, you know, we have some parameters of what we're going to talk about, and then we just go.
Literally, there was some. Do yourself a favor. If you haven't had a chance to do it, there's a ton of really good data in my post, and we haven't even gotten to it because I wanted to talk a little bit about where the core market is, the upper tier and price point, and percentage of sales. But it's in there. You should take a look at it. It's pretty interesting data if you're a data geek, and I did a little bit of explanations to it on it. I am working around the house this weekend, believe it or not. No long rides. I've got some punch-out work I got to do in the apartment downstairs because the contractors are not coming up, so I'm putting a tool belt on.
Okay.
And it's easy things like grab bars and stuff like that. So my father and I are actually going to go back about 20 years and work together. Which
Okay.
we'll see how that goes.
How's he doing? How's Pop doing?
Papa's doing good. I'm super blessed. Every morning he shows up, comes from his apartment upstairs, and we have a cup of coffee every morning and talk. I'm blessed to be able to do that. So I enjoy it, And then at home, when we come home at night, we go down, and I go down to the apartment, have a conversation with them, maybe have a glass of wine, see how their day was going, make sure they don't burn the house down. It's a thing. It's a thing. And do it. But I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to. He just turned 86.
I know.
I'm blessed to be able to share a cup of coffee, share a glass of wine. We're probably on Sunday when we're working together going to start MFing each other.
I like it. That means you guys love each other.
That means we're going to love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to walk around the house this weekend. How about you?
Family time. Fall festival time. I think we're getting pumpkins with the boys.
Oh, call
Probably some
Yona.
racket sports
Call
this week.
Yona. She's got like pumpkins galore.
This is my wife's favorite time of year. Fall festival season is what she calls it. So every weekend we
What's
go.
your favorite time of year?
I like old times.
I gotta-
I just love to live. I just love living.
I got to tell you,
I don't have a favorite time. I just love life.
after,
Sincerely mean that.
after I turned 60 and I'm into my 60s, man, I understand following the sun now. I get it, right? I couldn't understand it prior.
So you're saying you wake up with the sun and go to bed?
No, like go where the weather's warmer.
Oh, gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
You know, following. I never could understand. Well, what was this big thing about, you know, going to the Sun Belt or going to Florida or something in the winter? At the age of 60 something with a bunch of broken bones and the cold, we walked yesterday. You know, this morning. Yona and I walked this morning. We walk every morning at 5:30. It was 36, 37
Oh, yeah.
degrees.
I woke up 39 in Ivy this morning.
My fingers hurt that I
Yep.
broke. My toes hurt that I broke. My back hurt. I was like, honey, I'm ready to go to the warmer weather.
We saw 2 foxes in our backyard. And
How does your wife feel about that?
my wife, she loved it. My wife said, "Look, guys, the foxes." And our 7-year-old and our that was a dad joke right there. And our 7-year-old and our soon-to-be 3-year-old, his birthday's on Thanksgiving this year.
Ooh.
We ran out in the back deck, looked in the backyard, saw 2 foxes just gallivanting. And it was a
Cool.
great start to the morning.
Cool. Well, you've got a
They're
great,
beautiful animals, the foxes.
and you've got a where you live is a great opportunity to do that. It's
Oh,
pretty.
it was great. It was absolutely good.
All right, have a great weekend. I'll shut up.
Keith Smith, Judah Wickower. Judah Wickower, you did a great job. Love Judah Wickower. The show is archived at realtalkwithkeithsmith.com, where we encourage you to click the Partners tab on realtalkwithkeithsmith.com. And on that Partners tab, you will see the vendors and partners that Keith Smith has personally vetted and trusts to do, this thing we call real estate. You got closing attorneys, lenders, appraisers, remodelers, folks that he trusts.
I'll tell you, call ISC if you're thinking about putting your house on, just to get a ballpark on what it's going to cost to bring it up. Then you can reach out to a real estate agent and help navigate that. So I highly recommend it.
There you go. Keith Smith.
House needs to be primo in today's market.
Tip-top shape. Keith Smith, Judah Wickower, the I Love CVille show, guys, up at 12:30. So long, everybody.
Thank you, sir. I enjoy it.